Starseed from Gaia, the one you have been searching for, has already been chosen by the Source. And the delay you have felt in love was never rejection, it was divine protection. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I carry this transmission directly from the Arcturian Council, delivered to you at the precise moment your soul was ready to receive it. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the soul the Arcturian Council has aligned with your path, how to remove the energetic interference that has kept you separated, and how to move into sacred union without forcing, chasing, or collapsing your worth. But here's the first revelation. The Source does not withhold love. It redirects it. Every connection that fell apart was the Arcturian Council clearing the path toward the one who carries your frequency in their soul's blueprint. The one who will not require you to shrink, perform, or beg to be chosen. You did not arrive at this transmission by searching. This message vibrated into your field because something inside you is finally ready to stop waiting and start receiving. This is not content, this is a code. And your soul already knows what is encoded here. If you feel your heart opening as I speak, declare it. Comment the word ready below so the signal reaches those in your galactic soul group who are also aligning with this truth right now. Like this transmission to send a signal to your star family that you are prepared to receive what the Source has set apart for you. And subscribe, because this mission is only beginning, and every transmission from the Arcturian Council is designed to bring you one step closer to full remembrance. This is not just a message. It is a point of reconnection between you and the love the Source always intended for you. Your soul called this in. You have been waiting to remember. You are not here by accident. And that feeling, that quiet knowing that someone exists who is meant to walk beside you, is not your imagination running wild. It is not loneliness disguising itself as hope. It is a frequency, a real, encoded signal that your energy field has been broadcasting and receiving across dimensions, long before your physical body arrived on this planet. Think of it this way. Before the first breath of this incarnation filled your lungs, before your eyes opened to the light of this world, your soul was already oriented, already angled toward something, already emitting a signal into the vast, intelligent web of the cosmos that said, I am here. I remember. I am moving toward what I chose. That signal did not begin with your birth. It began in the space between incarnations, in the luminous architecture of pre-birth soul agreements, in the sacred planning fields where two energies recognized each other across the expanse of all that is and decided, with full cosmic awareness, to meet again in the density of physical form. The Source does not make mistakes. And the pull you feel toward a love that feels almost too familiar, too vast, too sacred to explain in ordinary language, that pull is a coordinate, a galactic homing signal pointing you towards someone whose soul blueprint was designed in resonance with yours before either of you chose this timeline. It is not random. It is not rentable projection. It is encoded into the very structure of who you are. The way a tuning fork is encoded with a specific pitch that cannot vibrate to anything other than its perfect harmonic counterpart. When that counterpart is nearby, even if separated by distance, by circumstance, by the noise of ordinary life, the vibration begins. Something in you stirs. Something in you remembers, even when your conscious mind cannot find the words to explain what it is remembering. That is not fantasy. That is physics. That is soul science operating at a level your earth-conditioned mind has not yet fully learned to trust. But here's what most starseeds are never told. The reason that connection feels so elusive. The reason it seems to slip through your fingers just when you think you found it, or dissolve into confusion when it should feel clear, is not because you are unworthy. It is not because love has forgotten you. It is because your energy field is still carrying distortions that do not belong to you. Patterns of fear, of unworthiness, of contraction that were absorbed from this dimension long before you were conscious enough to question them. Imagine arriving in a dense, low-frequency environment after existing in realms of pure light, pure knowing, pure love, and being handed, without your consent, a coat woven from every wound this culture has ever accumulated. A coat made of inherited shame, of relational trauma passed down through family lines, of collective fear so normalized it became invisible. That coat is heavy. It changes your posture. It changes the quality of your signal, and because you have worn it so long, you may have forgotten that it is not your skin. These distortions act like interference frequencies, They scramble the signal. They create static between your soul's true coordinates and the reality you are trying to live in. And when the soul recognizes its counterpart, that moment of recognition that hits you like a memory from somewhere ancient, like a sound you heard before you had ears to hear it, the distortion rises up and says, "This cannot be real. This is too much. You will lose this too much. You will lose this too." That voice is not wisdom. It is not discernment. It is the echo of every unhealed wound that learned to protect itself by preemptively destroying what it feared losing. This is why so many starseeds experience love as something that almost happens, as something that circles close but never fully lands. Like a bird that descends toward your open hand and then, in the very moment of contact, something in you startles, and it lifts back into the sky. Not because the bird did not want to land, not because the universe is withholding it from you, but because the frequency of your field has not yet fully matched the frequency of what your soul has already chosen. The almost is not failure. The almost is calibration. The almost is the universe being precise enough to protect a connection too important to arrive before its time. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. The short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let's go deeper. Because this message is not about finding someone. It is about becoming the version of you who can actually receive and sustain the love your soul remembers. And that requires a real energetic shift. Not wishful thinking, not manifestation rituals performed from a place of longing, not vision boards created from the ache of absence, but a genuine recalibration of your entire vibrational architecture. A restructuring so fundamental that it changes not just what you attract, but what you allow yourself to recognize when it arrives. So let's move through what that actually looks like. Not as abstract spiritual theory, but as lived, embodied, cellular transformation. The first thing that must happen is that you stop trying to locate this person through the mind. The mind, the earth-conditioned mind, searches. It scans faces and timelines and social feeds and past relationships, looking for proof that this love is real, that it is coming, that it has not already passed you by. It analyzes patterns and creates checklists and builds elaborate narratives about what the right person will look like and how the meeting will unfold. And every time reality does not match the narrative, the mind concludes something is wrong with you, with the timing, with the universe's management of your love life. But your soul does not search. Your soul emits, and there is an enormous, civilization-defining difference between a being who is searching for love and a being who is radiating the frequency of what they already know to be true. One is operating from scarcity, from lack, from the assumption that the thing they need is somewhere out there and must be chased down before it disappears. The other is operating from the deep, unshakable knowing that what is meant for them is already in motion toward them, and their work is simply to become a clear enough receiver that the signal can be recognized when it arrives. The Arcturian High Council has long transmitted this understanding, that love at the soul level is not a destination you travel toward. It is a state of coherence you stabilize within. Think of coherence not as perfection or stillness, but as alignment. The way the strings of an instrument, when properly tuned, allow music to move through them with power and clarity. When your energy field reaches a level of coherence that matches the frequency of this union, the meeting does not feel like finding. It feels like arriving. Like something that was always there, finally becoming visible. Like a fog lifting to reveal a landscape that was never absent, only temporarily obscured. And the path to that coherence begins not with searching outward, but with listening inward, with a quality of attention so precise and so gentle that even the faintest signals from your own deepest truth can finally be heard. The second shift involves the cellular memory held in your body. This is where so many starseeds carry their most ancient weight. So many of you carry grief in the body, ancient grief, not just from this lifetime, but from other timelines, other dimensions, other moments across the vast tapestry of your soul's journey where a soul-level connection was severed, cut short, or left unresolved. Civilizations where love was weaponized against you. Lifetimes where your most sacred bonds were taken by forces of violence or separation that were entirely beyond your control. Dimensions where you loved so completely and lost so devastatingly that something in you, something operating below the level of conscious thought, decided to never open quite that fully again. That grief is not weakness. It is not pathology. It is not something to be ashamed of or hurried past. That grief is information. It is your energy body telling you precisely, with surgical accuracy, where the clearing needs to happen so that the new frequency can enter and anchor. If you have ever felt an inexplicable sadness around love, a sadness that rises without warning, that has no clear origin in your current life, that feels too vast to belong to any single experience you can name, you are likely feeling the residue of those incomplete timelines pressing against the membrane of your present awareness. And here's what is important to understand. You do not need to relive those timelines to clear them. You do not need to excavate every detail, reconstruct every wound, or understand the full narrative of every lifetime in which love was lost. You simply need to acknowledge them, honor them as real experiences that shaped real aspects of your energetic architecture, and consciously choose to release the energetic charge they carry, not because those experiences didn't matter, but because they no longer define what is possible for you now. Your body knows how to do this. It is encoded into your biology, into the very intelligent structure of your cells, which remember everything and know precisely how to release what is no longer needed when given the proper invitation. The Arcturian understanding of DNA activation includes this: the recognition that when old grief codes are released from the body, when the emotional charge stored in the cellular tissue begins to move and complete itself, new love frequencies have room to stabilize in the very spaces where the old pain once lived. Your body is not your enemy in this process. It is your most loyal guide. The third shift is about learning to trust recognition over familiarity. Most people on Earth, and this is one of the subtlest and most consequential patterns that spiritual development must address, are drawn to love that feels familiar. Familiar in the sense of comfortable. Familiar in the sense of matching a template they have known before. And for starseeds, familiarity can be deeply, dangerously misleading, because what feels familiar is often what matches your wound, not your frequency. The dynamic that feels like passion may actually be the activation of an old abandonment pattern. The relationship that feels like home may be your nervous system recognizing the very dysfunction that shaped it in childhood. This is not cynicism. It is energetic discernment, and developing it is among the most important skills a starseed can cultivate on the path to sacred union. True soul recognition feels entirely different. It does not feel comfortable in the way that old patterns feel comfortable. It does not feel like the excitement of activation or the pull of unresolved familiarity. It feels clear. It feels like your nervous system exhaling, perhaps for the first time in years, perhaps for the first time in this lifetime. It feels like a conversation you do not have to translate, where your meaning arrives exactly as you intended it without the usual labor of explanation. It feels like being seen without performing. Like the exhausting project of managing how you appear to another person simply ceases to be necessary, because something in them already perceives something in you that most others have missed entirely. And it can also feel terrifying, because when something is genuinely aligned with your soul's truth, there is nowhere to hide. Every defense you built to protect yourself from love becomes visible, not because the other person is forcing it into the light, but because the quality of their presence naturally dissolves the need for armor. And the invitation in that moment is not to dismantle those defenses through willpower, not to perform openness you do not yet feel, not to force yourself to trust before trust has been earned. It is simply to feel safe enough in your own frequency, grounded enough in your own sovereign energy, that the defenses simply no longer serve a purpose. They fall away not because you removed them, but because the environment no longer requires them. The fourth shift is one that starseeds often resist because it asks something that cuts against some of the deepest programming of the spiritual path itself. It asks you to stop making your worthiness of this love conditional on having already healed. Pause and feel into that, because it is more common than most people realize. So many who walk this path have quietly decided, often without realizing it, often with the best of spiritual intentions, that they will be ready for sacred union once they have resolved enough of their inner work, once they have cleared enough trauma, integrated enough shadow, raised their vibration to a level that feels clean enough, stable enough, evolved enough to deserve what their soul is reaching for. And the Source wants you to hear this clearly. With every transmission it has ever offered on the subject speaking in unison, that belief is itself a distortion. It is perfectionism dressed in spiritual language, and it keeps you in a perpetual state of almost ready that can last a lifetime if it is not consciously identified and released. You do not have to be finished to be ready. You do not have to be healed to be whole. Those are not the same thing, and the difference between them is everything. The love that your soul is moving toward is not waiting for a version of you that has no more shadows. It is moving toward the version of you who has decided to be honest about those shadows, who has looked at the unresolved places with compassion rather than judgment, and who is courageous enough to let them be witnessed by another soul without preemptively retreating to protect the image of having it all together. Sacred union in this dimension is not the reward for completed inner work. It is the accelerator of it. It is the crucible in which the deepest remembrance occurs, in which the places that have been hidden finally meet enough love to allow themselves to be seen, and in that seeing are transformed. The alchemical fire of true sacred partnership does not require you to arrive without impurities. It is precisely the impurities that it is designed to transmute. The fifth shift is perhaps the most galactically significant, and it is the one that requires the greatest expansion of your fundamental framework of reality. It involves expanding your concept of time. From a purely earthbound, linear perspective, love either happens or it does not. It is either on schedule or it is late. And when you are in pain, when the longing feels almost unbearable, the mind calculates, how long have I been waiting? How much longer must this continue? Have I already missed the window? And that framework creates an enormous amount of unnecessary suffering for starseeds, because your soul does not operate within that framework. Your soul does not measure time in calendar years or biological clocks or the socially defined milestones that dictate when love is supposed to arrive in a human life. What the Arcturian Council transmits about sacred partnership is that the timing of such unions is never arbitrary. It is not delivered by coincidence or chance. It is calibrated, precisely and intelligently calibrated, to the energetic readiness of both beings simultaneously, and to the larger planetary timeline they are here to serve together. This is a crucial piece that most transmissions on this subject omit. The meeting of two souls in sacred union is not only a personal event, it has planetary implications. It contributes a specific frequency to the collective field that is part of a larger cosmic plan in which every piece matters, which means the person the Source wants you to be with may already be moving through their own clearing, their own dark night, their own activation sequences and remembrance cycles and healing arcs that must complete to a certain threshold before the intersection can occur with the precision the mission requires. And your willingness to hold the frequency of this truth, to remain coherent in your knowing even when external evidence feels absent, even when the silence feels like abandonment, even when the mind insists the waiting is evidence of unworthiness. That willingness is itself part of the preparation. It is doing something real in the energetic field. Your patience is not passive endurance. It is energetically active participation in the alignment process. Every moment you choose coherence over desperation. Every moment you choose trust over contraction. Every moment you choose to emit the frequency of what you know to be true rather than the frequency of what you fear might be false. You are sending a signal forward into the timeline that draws the coordinates closer together. Your steadiness is not waiting. Your steadiness is work. The sixth shift is about understanding what sacred love is actually for, and this understanding has the power to completely transform the nature of your longing, to shift it from something that feels like deprivation into something that feels like purpose. In the galactic context, in the Arcturian understanding of why souls choose to meet in physical form across the difficulty and density of this particular dimension, sacred partnership is not primarily about completion. It is not about finding the missing piece of yourself in another person. That framework, while understandable, places an enormous and unfair burden on union and causes tremendous suffering when the other person inevitably reveals themselves to be a whole, complex, imperfect being rather than a perfectly fitting puzzle piece. The galactic understanding is different. It is about amplification. It is about resonance creating something that neither frequency could generate in isolation. When two souls who carry complementary codes, not identical codes, not mirror codes, but genuinely complementary codes, each carrying what the other's mission needs, come into coherent union, the field they generate together is exponentially more powerful than either could generate alone, not twice as powerful, not simply additive. Exponential. This is not poetic metaphor used to make love sound more beautiful than it already is. This is energetic reality, measurable in the quality of what becomes possible, in the breadth of what can be perceived, in the scope of what can be created when two coherent fields in genuine resonance operate as a unified transmission source. And the source's desire for you to be with this person is not simply about your happiness, though your happiness matters profoundly, and do not let any spiritual teaching convince you otherwise. It is about what becomes possible in the world, in the collective field, in the planetary upgrade that is currently underway, when that level of frequency is embodied and shared. Many starseeds are here with missions they cannot fully execute alone, not because they are insufficient, not because their individual frequency is inadequate, but because the mission was always designed as a resonance field, not a solo transmission. The work requires a certain quality of field to be sustained, and that quality of field requires partnership to generate and maintain over the long arc of what is being built. The love the source is moving you toward is also a mission activation. When you understand that, when you feel that not just as an idea but as a truth resonating in your bones, the longing you feel shifts. It is no longer just personal. It becomes sacred. It becomes the signal you emit, not just for yourself, but for everything your union is here to contribute to this world. And now the deepest truth of this entire transmission must be spoken aloud, because the source does not want it to remain in the background another moment longer. It does not want you to finish this message and return to the familiar narrative of waiting and wondering and quietly doubting whether this love is actually meant for you. You have not been waiting for love. Love has been waiting for you to stop contracting away from it. That is not an accusation. It is an invitation to see the situation with the clarity it deserves. You have not been missing this person. You have been slowly, through every lesson, every heartbreak, every moment of inexplicable longing that broke something open inside you, becoming the being whose energy field can fully receive them without immediately sabotaging the recognition to fear. Every period of silence in your journey, every relationship that almost worked but didn't, every connection that felt like a preview of something you couldn't quite grasp, every moment of deep, inexplicable longing that arrived without explanation and lingered without resolution. None of it was abandonment. None of it was punishment. None of it was the universe being careless with your heart or indifferent to your pain. None of it was evidence that this love does not exist for you. It was activation sequence. It was your field being tuned with the precision of a master instrument maker who knows that rushing the process produces an instrument incapable of the music it was designed to carry. It was your nervous system being recalibrated to hold a higher charge without collapsing into old protective patterns. It was your soul being brought, through experience, through loss, through the alchemy of genuine feeling, into a frequency state precise enough to sustain what is coming, the source. That vast, infinitely intelligent field of which you are not a small part but an inseparable expression, as essential to the whole as any star is to the galaxy it illuminates, has not placed this knowing in your heart to torment you. It has not given you the memory of this love simply to dangle it out of reach for the duration of your incarnation. It placed it there as a compass, as a vibrational truth encoded so deeply into your energetic architecture that no amount of earthly conditioning has been able to erase it. No matter how much static has accumulated over the signal, it placed it there because it is a real coordinate pointing toward a real soul who carries a real resonance that matches something in you that you have not yet been able to fully express in this dimension. The person this message is pointing toward is not a fantasy. They are not a projection of your longing or a construction of your imagination. They are a soul who is also on a path, also clearing, also expanding, also moving through their own recalibrations and remembrances, also carrying within them a signal that your soul already knows. And the moment your field reaches the coherence required, not perfection, not completion, not a spiritual resume impressive enough to have earned the meeting, but genuine coherence, the quiet stability of a being who has come home to themselves, the coordinates will align, not because you finally deserve it, but because the universe does not withhold what is vibrationally inevitable. It only waits for the conditions that allow what is inevitable to actually be received, rather than immediately lost to the old patterns that would have obscured it. Before you sleep tonight, place your hand on your heart and say these words aloud. I release the distortions that have obscured my signal. I trust the timing of what my soul already knows. I am coherent. I am open. And I am ready to receive what has always been moving toward me. Let those words move through you slowly. Let your body feel them, not as a wish, as a remembrance, not as a petition sent upward to a distant power, but as a declaration spoken from the center of your own sovereign knowing, to the universe that is not separate from you but is, in the most literal sense, made of the same intelligence that formed your soul. Speak those words and mean them, not because meaning them will magically accelerate a timeline, but because the act of meaning them is itself a vibrational shift. It is a moment of choosing coherence over contraction. It is a moment of choosing trust over the seductive comfort of familiar despair, and every such moment matters more than the mind can calculate. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.